Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. My name is Reina. If you're new here, welcome, and if you've been here before, thanks for watching and welcome back. So I did want to make a quick video today for you guys, giving you 5 tips on things that you can do in regards to getting into real estate. So these are things you can do before you are even licensed that will help you get ahead of the game. I know these are some of the things that as I'm starting now, I wish I would have done before, so that now that I am full-time in real estate, I could use that time a little bit more for prospecting and maybe going out there and actively seeking new clients. One thing that I did want to let you guys know is that although I don't post too often, I do want to start becoming a little bit more regularly in regards to sharing my experience with you guys. Generally, I just post videos about random things, and some of them are just really old videos, and I think most of them are just private now. But what I want to start doing is sharing more of my real estate journey with you guys. It's a completely different field for me. Prior to this, I had 11 years of experience in massage therapy, which I still actively do and actively take on clients. And additionally, I was a public educator, so I just finished my last teaching contract, and I'm moving away from the education in general. I was teaching middle school Spanish, so like an elective, and I really loved it. I loved the children. That was my favorite part, just working with them, getting to see them grow and learn and become passionate about language learning. But everything else I did not like. So I'm moving away from that field, and now I just finished my contract about 2 weeks ago, and I'm full-time working as a real estate agent. This is going to be my main source of income. So I'm excited to move this journey along, and I'm learning as I go, and everything that I do learn, I would love to share it with you guys. That way, if you find something useful, you can apply it to your own journey, or maybe you can share some stuff with me. You can leave me a comment and tell me what has worked for you, what your experience has been. So without wasting any more time, I do want to go ahead and get started. And so these are the 5 things in no particular order. So my first advice would be to interview brokerages. Interview all of the brokerages that you might potentially be interested, and even some that you maybe are like, probably not, but maybe this could be your warm-ups for the ones that you're really interested in. So I kind of had an idea in mind of who I wanted to join, and that is ultimately who I ended up going with. So I'm gonna make another video about the brokerage I'm with now, so stay tuned for that. But one thing that I did want to let you guys know that helped me a lot to interview and get an idea of what things cost in my area, what the fees are, what each location can offer you in terms of education, in terms of leads, in terms of support. And all of those questions are important. And also, interviewing takes time, because you more likely than not, you have to set an appointment. You have to go there. Whether the time that I was interviewing, it was still during the large Zoom conferences, so I was able to do a lot of them by Zoom, which really helped in terms of time management. But that won't always be the case, so make sure that you do interview everyone that you're interested in, and kind of have like that top person in mind, so that when you are able to, you can go ahead and go and get started, sign up, get going, because that's one thing that will delay. Once you have your license, you want to start making money, you want to start prospecting, you want to start branding yourself, and you can't do that unless you already know where you're going to go. So that would be a really important thing to do. So interview all the brokerages, get that out of the way. When you're ready, sign up, and once you have your license, you know where you're going to go. Another one that was a big one that I had to wait a long time for was headshots. So when you do sign up for a brokerage, or for everything, when you're developing your brand, when you're developing maybe you want to put your face in your business cards, you want to develop a logo. For example, my brokerage, sorry, my cat's meowing in the background. My brokerage wanted us to send them in a headshot so that they could put us in their company website. They put put it in their app and all of that. So we need to have those done. And I didn't have mine done because I was just so busy towards the end of the school year here, that when I did go, sorry, my cat's like climbing on me. So whenever I finally got around to doing it, I had to wait 2 weeks for the headshot to turn around. So I ended up having to go really quickly to JCPenney and getting some of those headshots that you get within like 24 hours, which are not the best quality, but it was what I had to go with at the time. So I wish I had prepared sooner. That's something super easy to get out of the way, take a nice picture, and then you don't have to worry about it. And then you're ready to, again, start branding yourself, start, you know, the day that you do get licensed, you can just introduce yourself to everybody you know on social media or whatever. Next one is, it kind of goes in line, it's to start branding yourself. So one thing that my brokerage had me do, and one thing that you would want to do for yourself as well, is kind of create a little statement about yourself so you can introduce yourself to people. So those are things that require a little bit of thought, because when somebody asks you the question, oh, who are you, or introduce yourself to me, most people are like, oh, my name is so and so, and you stumble. You want to have a clear statement of who you are and what you do. So for example, I drafted a really quick one talking about my background and how I'm going to use my background to become a good agent, and all of that. And you guys are going to do the same thing. So mine's written more professional than what I just stated, but you want to make sure that you do that and get it out of the way. Even while you're in school, you could do that. Why? Because that way you don't have to do, you can really focus on the real training, on prospecting when you're already in the field. You don't want to be writing an about me statement for your website last minute. You want to have that done so that whenever they ask you for it, for example, when I joined, they asked me, oh, can you give me a statement of what you want your website to say? So luckily for me, I already had that drafted. I just send it over. But if not, it's just one more thing that I have to do. You can also start networking. You can start going out and telling people, hey, I'm in real estate, I'm in real estate, I'm in real estate. Obviously, you aren't going to start taking clients just yet because you don't have a brokerage yet, but you do want to start telling people, hey, I'm getting into real estate, you know, I'm getting into real estate, so that people have you in mind and they start thinking that of you as their next agent, right? You can also take this time to learn, even though you are in school already for real estate, or you might be thinking of it, you can still take the time to learn. So for example, for me, while I was doing the online course, or any course for that matter in real estate, their goal is to help you pass the test, but they're really not going to be there to help you get clients, and they don't teach you how to client prospect, how to find clients, where to look, how to speak to them. None of that is what they teach you. They only teach you basically what the state law requires. So you have to, either you already have amazing sales skills, you came from a sales background, or you need to learn those skills, right? So for me, I do have a little bit of a sales background, considering that I have been in massage therapy, so I'm always selling products, selling services, selling appointments, and so that's something that helped me. But I really don't have a, like, I guess 100% sales. So I really felt like I needed to know how to approach the clients, or how to, when people tell you no, what do you say, or what if somebody tells you this. So you can look for whatever coach you would like, but for me personally, I follow a couple of YouTubers who I felt like were really influential for me, and one of them kind of led me towards finding the coach Kevin Ward, and I really started watching his free content on YouTube, and I became such a big fan of like the way he presented. There's a lot of good ones. There's like Tom Ferry. I can't think I have another one at this moment, but there's so many. But personally, I just found his style a little bit better, and you'll have to find what works for you. But I joined, so I bought his Book of Yes, and I really felt like I liked the content that was pretty inexpensive. I think like $20 or $30, and I bought the audiobook so that as I was going to work, I could hear it and follow along. And because I really enjoyed the content, I decided to buy another package that he sold, and it was like double your listing power, and that just is more sales training. That is more how do you address a client when they tell you this? How do you, find prospects? And all of the things that I personally felt that I needed to get to know more before I got into real estate. I could definitely be working on those things. And that's been very helpful because I already had practiced the scripts before. It wasn't my first day. And one of the things that Kevin Ward says, which I find really good, he says, when you think about a professional athlete, they practice 100 times before the game, or probably a lot more than that. But when we think about us, we're not going to be, for the first time when we're actually talking to a client, practicing these things that we're going to say, right? We wouldn't do that. A professional athlete wouldn't do that. We're professional real estate agents, so we're not going to do that either. We're going to practice so that when we do get to a client, we can really do a good job. And then so that one, I can't stress that enough in regards to training and professional development for yourself, not what you need to do for the state, because that you'll find once you take the state kind of goes out the window, because every area has their own contracts. When Texas, for example, we all use the same contract, but every brokerage handles things a little bit differently. So you'll learn more about that, about the documents and all of those things, but you won't necessarily learn how to get clients and all of that unless you invest in yourself. And last one, and kind of a simple one, attend open houses. So one of the things that my brokerage tells us to do is to go to open houses, hold open houses. It's a very good way to get clients. But those are things that you can be doing even before you're licensed, especially because I think then you'll have more time to attend and see what you like, see what you didn't like. That way you know what you want your open houses to be like when you do start holding them. I do have to add that it is illegal to go into open houses with the intention of getting clients. So make sure that you just go and just look around, like you're just there to look, but you're there to learn, really. You're there to get experience, to make sure that you're learning, that you are paying attention to what you like, seeing what you would like to implement for yourself, seeing what you could improve, and things of that nature. So hopefully these things help you out. There's probably a lot more. These are just things that as I started, which is I've only been actively doing this about 2 weeks since I ended my contract for teaching. My last day was, I believe, on Tuesday, and Wednesday I started in real estate, so I didn't get a summer vacation this year. But I've been learning a lot along the way. I'm really happy with the brokerage that I picked, and hopefully when and if you do get into real estate, you have similar experience, and hopefully you take some of these tips into account and you get started as soon as possible. That way you don't have to waste any time. You can hit the ground running. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know, and hopefully you enjoy this content. Like I said, I'm going to be sharing a little bit more about my real estate journey, and I do have other topics that I eventually will post about as well. I know that my most popular video on here is in regards to massage therapy, so I'll definitely be putting more content out in regards to massage therapy as well, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye.